In with your second shift duty, greeting and serving guests.
Good evening. Invited enough to eat today? Boy, I'll say. Well, that's great. Would you care for some ham or beef? A little both, I think. All right.
Making friendly conversations like this is a big part of greeting and serving guests. At other buffet-style restaurants, guests often feel they're on their own. Once they've paid for the meal, no one pays much attention to them. At Old Country Buffet, we work hard to make sure our guests never feel that way. As a carver, you spend a little more time with guests and their team members. That means you have a great chance to make them feel welcome and appreciated. By greeting the guest warmly and holding brief conversations as you serve them, you say to our guests, "We're glad you're here." Let's take a closer look at greeting guests. Every conversation you hold with guests should begin something like this.
Good evening.
Or,
Hi, how are you?
once you've greeted the guest, start a brief conversation. Try asking a question the guest can answer in a sentence or two. You might ask something like this.
Is it still hot out there?
Or this.
Did you catch a game last night?
Or this.
Have you tried the lasagna? It's my favorite.
Don't forget to hold quick conversations with our younger guests, too. Children often play a big part in deciding which restaurant their parents visit. We want them to feel welcome and special here, too. So start conversations with children by saying something like this.
What grade are you in at school?
Or this.
Have you decided what dessert you're going to have?
Or this.
Do you like hot fudge sundaes?
Once you've held a brief conversation, it's time to move on to the second half of this shift duty, serving the guests. Begin by asking,
Would you care for some ham or beef?
Ham, please.
once guests have chosen what meat they want, you'll carve a slice of it. Exactly what size of slice you will serve will be a judgment call on your part, unless the guest makes a special request. We don't limit the can have. We do, however, manage it to reduce. Here are some guidelines for knowing how much meat to serve a guest. When your guest's plate has very little on it, carve a full cut. Lay it over the bare portion of the plate. Children usually prefer smaller portions. Carve them a smaller cut. Place it on an open section of the plate. If your guest's plate looks like this, quarter cut or a half cut of the meat the guest requests. Sometimes guests will tell you exactly what size of cut or number of pieces they want. Other guests will ask you to carve a slice thicker than our usual dime width. These guests all feel they're getting more when getting a thicker cut. Actually, the thin cut ensures them a tender piece of meat, which is why we carve dime thicknesses. If a guest asks you,
a half-inch slice of that roast beef, please.
Say something like this.
I'd be glad to carve you that. Thinner slices are more tender, though. Would that be all right? You can always come back up for more.
Okay.
Of course, if the guest insists on a thicker slice, honor the request. No matter what sanitizing solution, towels that aren't sanitized frequently not only are unappetizing to look at, but they also leave streaks on the stainless steel. Maintaining the carving station includes maintaining carving knives. To keep your knives sharp and ready to carve, you use a grooved steel rod called, appropriately, the steel doesn't actually sharpen the knife. It hones it by aligning microscopic burrs on the edge of the blade. After cutting about 10 to 15 slices of meat, you'll notice that your knife isn't cutting as easily as it was when it was first sharpened. It's the base of the steel on the side furthest from you. The cutting edge should be facing up. Blade up the steel, working left to right. Make sure the entire blade is drawn across the steel. Next, blade of the knife at the tip of the steel on the side closest to you. Again, the cutting edge should face up. Draw the blade down left to right. This hones the other side of the blade's cutting edge. Repeat this process several times on each side of the cutting edge. Draw the blade over the clean, sanitized towel lying on the carving counter. Do not hold the towel in your left hand. Your carving knives are sharp enough to slice not only through the towel, but fingers. Remember, knives are never taken to the dish room for cleaning. Once you have wiped the steel with your clean, sanitized towel, return it to its appropriate place. Your fourth shift duty is assisting the guest flow is light. When there are no guests at your station and you're caught up on your own tasks, you'll assist line attendants. Your final shift duty is doing whatever it takes to take care of the guests. At Old Country Buffet, serving guests is our #1 priority. You have many opportunities throughout your shift to lend a helping hand to our guests. Every time you offer that helping hand, chances are you increase guests' satisfaction with his or her visit. Before we leave your shift duties, let's take a minute or two to look closely at something you need to be aware of every minute you're on the job. Safety. As a carver, you work in an area with a high potential for accidents. Sharp knives, grease from the hand, and the rush of a busy shift can sometimes combine to create a disaster. That's why you need to always work safely. Here are a few things to keep in mind. Treat your knives with respect. They are razor sharp, honed to an edge that cuts through meat with only a little pressure. Unfortunately, it doesn't matter to the knife if it's cutting through a ham or your finger. Don't grab for a falling knife. Let it hit the floor. In your haste to prevent it from falling, you stand a 50-50 chance of grabbing the blade, not the handle. Take extra time and care when you're washing knives. When both your hands and the knives are wet, it's easy to slip if you're hurrying. Slow down and complete the job safely. Never place knives in bus tubs, Lexans, or sinks full of soapy water. Your shift duties other than carving meat. Your shift duties are the things you will spend the majority of your time doing. Once again, here are the shift duties we've examined in this video segment. Greeting and serving guests. Maintaining the carving station.
From the day I opened the first Wendy's, my goal has been to serve the best hamburger in the business. A Wendy's old-fashioned hamburger. So, I started with the freshest beef I could find. 100% pure beef. Never frozen. and we pattied it in squares so the hamburger hangs over the side of the bun. Then we cooked the patty slowly to seal in its natural juices and served it hot off the grill with the customer's choice of toppings. No other hamburger chain can make those claims. That's what sets us apart from our competition, and that's why our customers come to Wendy's.
Hey, Greg, what's up? Not much. Mary's up front. She wants to see you. Hi, Bill. Hey. Okay. Yeah, Mary, what's up?
I'm going to put you on fries today because I want you to learn grill. Have you gone through this? Let's get started. You're familiar with the grill, but let me show you a few things you might not already know. The meat is here in the cold well, and the cheese is over here. Bun warmer up above keeps the buns warm and fresh. Remember, we serve 100% pure ground beef. It's patted into squares so that the meat hangs over the bun. Now, the tape I'm going to show you. Here's a crew guide and the grill training tape. Why don't you have a look at the tape first, and I'll check back with you in a few minutes.
All right.
Or do the four-corner press just one time more. Once you press it the second time, don't press it again because the meat's just fine.
But when you see those juices
You
rise
can turn that patty to the other side. Don't scrape the grill, we want it wet, you see.
and keep the meat moist so it's hot and juicy.
And when those red juices no longer rise, you can serve that patty. It'll win a
Prize.
It takes just about 4 minutes to
Cook.
But just to make sure you can take a
Look.
use your tool to double check.
It should be great and moist to be correct. Hey!
When an order's placed, you're ready to go. Just drain the meat.
Just like so.
Then when all the draining's done, you can place the patty squarely on the heel of the bun.
All right.
Even a chance they might never come back at all. Studies have revealed a variety of reasons for this phenomenon. Poor customer service tops the list. Even Subway stores have this problem. For example, in 1992, poor service topped our customer complaint list every quarter. By year's end, this area alone accounted for over 37% of the complaints registered with headquarters. In order to succeed in the fast food industry, both your product and customer service must be top-notch. You've got to give every customer a positive experience, so each one will want to visit your Subway store again and again. In this training, we're going to show you how to do this by using basic customer service techniques. The material is presented solely to enhance understanding. They'll work much quicker in the actual store setting. Let's take a look at the first area. Excellent service involves how you act toward customers. Not only must you fill their order, but you must also make them feel welcome. Let them know you appreciate their business. This is a task that involves several elements. Let's start by looking at these. Customers have two needs, practical and emotional. Filling their practical needs is easy. Make their order as specified. But what if you lose during their visit or acted indifferent? Then the customer got what he ordered, a sandwich, and he didn't get what he wanted. Friendly, quick, trouble-free service. Filling emotional needs is a major part of customer service. In fact, even if you can't fill an order exactly, your customers can still leave happy, as long as you treat them pleasantly and with respect, just as you would treat friends. Make eye contact and greet people when they enter your store to make them feel welcome. Hi, welcome to Subway. I'll be looking around. It only takes 7 seconds for customers to get irritated for waiting on their order. But Next, acknowledge their presence with a few words to let them know you know they're waiting. When you're ready, turn to the customer and give him your undivided attention.
Okay, what's on your feet today?
Something else just happened here. Something so simple you might not have thought about it. And one. It's easy to forget, but it's one of the most important tasks you need to perform. Let's take a moment to find out why. Plain and simple, hand washing looks good to customers and gives them the idea that cleanliness is important. It also promotes proper hygiene. Hand washing helps prevent the transmission of bacteria and lower the appearance of fecal anemia. When you're a customer, how do you feel when you see coverage somebody's wash their hands? How about when they don't? The hand soap in your subway store is located on the back counter. This position allows customers to see where you walk up and where you don't. This one isn't good enough. Always look your customer line. Look for me. And dry. Now we're ready to use the pen. One more time if you want. You'll have to see it. After using the restroom, the customer will go to the screen. After handing the money, and if you choose to go and visit your shop. For example, if you go to the meat shop, you can wash your hands before you go and back to the counter. The use of rubber gloves is obviously frequently larger during the section of hand washing. Some of our store owners have their employees wear gloves. Since it offers customers a choice of sandwich, you ask them when you take their order.
That's a foot long, right?
You need to know what size sandwich to make, and the larger the better. Ask this if no preference is given with an order.
Would you like to try double meat today?
Since you're suggesting extra meat, this seems appropriate to ask while you're making the sandwich. Remember to explain the higher cost involved so there's no confusion later on.
And what kind of food would you like today?
This question involves an additional item, so you should ask it when you're done making the sandwich. Don't ask if the customer wants the drink, ask what size he wants. This is more likely to encourage a drink purchase.
Would you like a French toast cookie and a bag of pizza pop?
Again, this can convert an additional item. Ask about one after you wrap the sandwich. How well did you do on the first? Since we're going to it is easy. Let's move on to the next part of the transaction, handling the sub-club card. The sub-club card is a marketing tool used for Subway. Basically, it rewards loyal customers and encourages repeat visits. The sub-club card is one of the best in-store marketing tools available. The card receives 2 cents for a foot-long sale and 1 for a quick drink. Customers can redeem their cards paid during 24 cents for any regular foot-long. After cards can be redeemed for any regular quick drink or sale. Most of your regular customers should be familiar with how they pay for their order. If you could just know that during this part of the transaction, customers are waiting and your cards are heard. It is important to do this right. The customer is just to begin the correct payment.
Okay, that's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Let's walk that again. Notice how the change wasn't counted back to the customer as $13.46. Instead, it was counted back to equal the customer's original method of payment, a $20 bill.
Okay, that's 10, 8, 9, 10, and 20.
Method of counting back change verifies the accuracy of the change and reconfirms the amount you took in from the customer. Although it's tempting just to give back what the register tells you to, it's good cash register etiquette and good business to take your time and do it the right way. Don't trust the machine. If you've entered a wrong amount, it will calculate the wrong amount of change. Another tip for preventing errors is to keep your money drawer neat. Place all bills face up with the heads pointing in the same direction. This can help you detect when you've placed a bill in the wrong slot. Let's see how the four parts of a transaction fit together. As you'll see, an effective employee mixes making friends while conducting business.
Hi, welcome to Subway. What can I make for you today? I've never been here before, but how's the Italian? Well, that's a good sandwich. That's famous salami and pepperoni. Another good choice is our Subway Club. That has turkey, roast beef, and ham. It's one of our most popular sandwiches. That sounds good. I think I'll try it. Would you like that on white or wheat bread? I think I'll have wheat. Okay. That's a foot long, right? My choices are 6 inch and foot long? Uh-huh. Yeah, I'll go for a foot long. Would you like double meat or bacon on your stuff today? No, bacon. We're going to get the normal amount of bacon, but twice the meat and cheese and regular foot long, so just $2 more. I'm hungry today. I think I'll try that. Okay, great. Is that going to be with all our fixings today? The fixings are what's up on the menu, right? Yep, that's them. It's easiest if you tell me what you don't want on a sandwich. I'll have everything except for olives. Okay, no olives? No problem. Sure turned into a nice day out there. Yeah, it's a lot warmer out there than they predicted. Great weather to play softball. You play softball? What team are you on? I play on my company's team, Acme International. Really good friend of mine plays on it. Yeah, he is. He's doing a great job this year. Really? He just tried to be out with a big friend. We're going to make it. And we have a good time out there. Yeah, softball's a lot of fun. So, quite a sandwich. Yeah. Hey, what size drink would you like today? I think I'll have a large. Okay. Cookies over there. No thanks. I think the double meat will be enough. Okay. Here's the first card. What's this? That is our discount card. Every time you buy a sandwich or a salad, we give you 1 cent. Every time you buy a footlong, we give you 2. When you fill up the card, you get a free sandwich. Oh, free sandwich. I'm going to hang on to that. Okay, so that was our double meat club. That comes $7 out of 10. Okay, that's 8, 9, and 10. Here's your receipt. Here's your cup. Self-service down that way. Thank you. Have a nice day and come back soon. Well, there you have it. An example of excellent basic customer service.
But proper phone etiquette doesn't stop there. In addition to the points we just covered, there are a few more we'd like to review. Be sure to keep all of these points in mind as you serve customers who order by phone. Be able to tell customers how to get to your store. Don't interrupt customers when they're speaking. And ask permission before putting a caller on hold. Customers all see